This is a quick video. Woke up, had to run some errands, was driving my car, and the next thing I know, I turn on YouTube, and it was stated that Jasmine was losing by 10 points in the polls, and James Tellerico is 47 versus 38. So, but this is just a poll. None of this shit counts until election time. So I'm not worried about the polls. What I am worried about, and I have nothing, by the way, I have no disrespect for James Tellerico. I think James Tellerico is a good guy because he even low key didn't throw Jasmine under the bus, but he kind of supported her in a low key type of a way. I'm worried about the leftists. That's what I'm mainly worried about. The people who are supposed to support her aren't supporting her for some strange reason, but that's okay. That's okay. Who laughs last, laughs best. It's astounding to me how many people from the right hate her. But I'm amazed and shocked and a little bit of anger that the people on her side of the aisle don't have the same respect for Jasmine. Is it because she talks too loud? Is it because of her compassion for Texans? Is it because she's not white? I mean, I I would just like to know. And it was like I said, it's not over until I mean we have early voting. The people in Texas have early voting coming in March. She's James is getting most of his votes, meanwhile, from whites, typical, and from Hispanics. Obviously, they haven't learned their lesson. But again, I just want to tell you straight up, I have no ill will towards James Tellerico. Jasmine still has, and coming up the 24th, which I will be covering the debate that's coming on the 24th, which is next week. I will be covering that. And we're going to see who wins the debate. Simple as that. We're going to see who wins the debate. Now, mind you, it doesn't really matter who wins. As long as that person is in that seat, as long as that seat turns blue, as long as we get this sorry sack of you know what out of office, because we're all aiming for one goal, and that one goal is to get Donald Trump impeached. That's the ultimate goal. What's going on right now in Greenland is ridiculous. But yet, this is what he wanted. You have Spain, Cuba, Mexico, you got a whole bunch of people involved deployed, excuse me, deployed in Greenland to defend Greenland. The only people that I know who is defending the United States of America is Britain. Allies to allies. But anyway, one bomb goes off. One bomb goes off. One hostile takeover. Anyone gets hurt. We are at war. And our main goal is to get Donald Trump's stupid ass out of that chair and into a jail cell where he belongs. What he has, the Porn Ice was doing, is unlawful and unjust. And didn't I hear something that he's going to release the Insurrection Act on Minnesotans? And you still support this guy? Upsetting. Upsetting. People, if you want any more bloodshed at the hands of these bastards, you might want to think twice of who you're voting for this time. You might want to think twice of who you're voting for. But like I said, the poll, I'm not worried about no poll. I'm not worried about anything. I'm just worried about the people from the left and it being a sign of betrayal. Because I thought that the left took care of the left and the right took care of the right. I don't know. I'm not a politician. Not a politician by any means, because I know the trick bag behind it. I just hate seeing her in this position while everybody else smile and laughs at James Tallarico, stating that he would be the perfect candidate. She's not ready. She's not ready to be she's not ready to take that Senate seat. She's too young. She's too inexperienced. Too this, too that. Da 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 da. But yet people like her and people respect her for what she could obviously bring to the table. Love seeing the Black Panthers out there protecting the protesters. I didn't see any Black Panthers out there. And if they were, good for them. And if they were, good for them. Black folks need protection. But you know who needs protecting? Jasmine. She needs protection. She's got too many haters out there. Too many haters to count. And don't get me wrong, there's Black folks out there who hate her too. Hopefully, I hope they get what they deserve. To be perfectly honest with you. Tellerico or Vladimir would bring some sanity back. Probably Tellerico. But my question is, what's the difference between? I'm quite curious. What's the difference between James and Jasmine? What? Why are people so in tune on giving her more press, more negative press, and then I hear James Tellerico give more negative press. Is it because of the whole Israel thing? Is it? This is just a question that I'm asking. Is it because of the whole Israel thing? Is it because they accuse her for taking money from some private organization, or what could it be? People are homophobic. So, oh, I get it. So she supports LGBTQ, which I don't condone that. Although she's a grown woman, she can do whatever she wants. And furthermore, she's pro-choice. So, uh, with those particular things in mind, other than that, she is going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour with good benefits and possibly do something with taxes. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I can see the good sides and I can see the bad sides of it. What do we know about James Tellerico? And I'm sorry, I did not do my research. I should have done my research, but I, and you know what? Lisa did tell me. She did tell me verbatim that if you're going to do politics, not only you're doing Jasmine Crockett videos, that's cool. Because we all love Jasmine Crockett. But you got to look at her opponents, which I had failed to do, except for Wesley, which I know he isn't going to run yet. Um, uh, it's my job and it's my responsibility to look at these people verbatim. Study them, not too much, but study them enough to make a decision where they are good guys or bad guys. I get it. I get it. And that was my fault. That was my fault. If the minimum wage increased at the same rate as inflation, federal minimum wage would be $26 an hour. And I bet you she would go for that. But how would we know? How would we know unless she does not get the votes? How would we know if either James is going to do it, if he is qualified to do so? How would we know? What's Jasmine up to?
I've heard so much and I have prepared remarks. And if you know anything about me, you know where I'm going. And frankly, I don't either because I have already cried this morning. And, you know, so I'll just start here. As a civil rights lawyer, I'm incensed. As an American, I'm embarrassed. As a human, I'm infuriated. And as a member of Congress, I am immovable in my pursuit of accountability. You see, right now, people want to pretend as if this is right or left, but I'm here to tell you that this is about right or wrong. And it is very sad that the only people that are sitting here are members of the Democratic side. So I guess we just want to stand on the side of right. For once, we will be associated with being right instead of left. Because my question to any of you, and I just go down the line and ask you, is it right or wrong to arrest someone because of the color of their skin?
Absolutely not.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because of their accent?
Wrong.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because they were exercising their constitutional rights?
It is wrong.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because they simply disagree with you?
It's wrong.
All right, so it seems like y'all all went to elementary school and y'all can tell right from wrong. I'm not really sure what is going on with ICE right now, but I can tell you, and as we heard earlier, this is pure racism. I don't know why we want to tinker around with it and pretend as if it's something other than what it is. I like to call a thing, and he has told us time and time again who he was. when he talked about certain people being from certain shithole countries. Those are his words. The only reason I'm cussing in this moment. When he said things like, they are eating the cats and dogs. We knew exactly what we were getting, and some people are saying, I don't know how we got here, but I do. Because we know that dehumanizing, I believe that you said something to the effect of cruelty and humiliation are the point. That's what you said, Miss Patty. Because when we look at other places, say places that did things like, go door to door, looking for people, as they had to hide out, say, in an attic. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Or the images that I have seen of people being attacked by law enforcement, whether we're talking about dogs or fire hoses, it seems very reminiscent of something that we have seen before in this country. And then people get offended and try to say I'm too black, but the reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. So I'm going to be clear about one thing. I know my good black history. And so when I look and I say, and I will say it loud and proud because the DH secretary had a few choice words for me, but this looks like modern day slave patrols. And they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court. Whoever thought we would live in a country that progress looks like having a Supreme Court that says, yes, it is okay to look at somebody or to listen to their accent and give permission to grab them. The last time that I checked, ICE is only supposed to be doing immigration enforcement. And right now we have a record number of U.S. citizens that have not only been arrested, but as we saw with Renee, that have been killed, that have been maimed, that have been bullied, that have been brutalized, that have been unlawfully arrested. Y'all, we are living with an abuser right now. That is who Trump and his administration is. And frankly, I think we all have a little bit of PTSD. But if you know anything about a domestic abuser, the one thing about them that you need to know is that they are some of the biggest cowards that you will ever find. What they can't stand is when you actually fight back. And so thank you so much for everybody in Minnesota. But it is time for our entire country to stand together. Because if you don't recognize that we are all in the same sinking ship, whether you are black, white, Latino, African, whoever you are, the reality is that we have an administration that has decided that they are going to ignore our constitutional rights, and we will not stand for it. Otherwise, our democracy will fall. So I just got this to say because she is.
Thank you, Representative Crockett. We got some people that gotta make some planes. So.
Damn. I would vote out of her pain, out of her anger, out of her rage. But most of these people and especially in the chat, not all of it, are very, very prejudiced when it comes to certain demographics. Or I should say, because of black women, period. Saying that she's nasty, saying that she looks a certain way. I get it. That's why I hope, and for some strange miracle, if God can grant me that one wish, if God can grant me the wish that a woman, a black woman, could raise her fist up in the air while in the Oval Office in the next 3 years, I would bask in his glory. Because you hating on Jasmine now, I can just see 3 years down the line when Kamala Harris wins, and I know she's not black, but if I can see that. The hate for Kamala Harris would be just as worse. It'll be just as worse. not only are you prejudiced towards a woman, you're sexist as well. And this is 2026. This is 2026. You're talking about a woman who has birthed children, sacrificed their bodies, nurtured, and have incredible intelligence throughout this world, and we respect and we appreciate some of us respect and appreciate women. It's quite mind-boggling that we can have this much hate all around, not just in this chat, but all around. It's quite. There's jealousy. It could jealousy. It could be some other things. Colorism, racism, sexism. It could be all those particular things. But like I said, I am really anxious now. You guys got me anxious now. Coming the 24th, which is on a Saturday. You guys got me on the 24th and beyond. I'm gonna do heavy research. I'm gonna do my research on Tallarico. I'm gonna do my research on the Republicans also, and see what these assholes have on Jasmine Crockett. You can't. Why not debate? If you have such strong animosity towards this woman, a debate is in order, isn't it not? Look up Pete too. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. Meanwhile, I
fearless woman and for trying to remove herself from the tense situation Donald Trump and Secretary known ICE manufactured and escalated. An ICE officer shot her 3 times and killed her. Renee Good was a mother of 3 children. She was a wife, a writer, a poet, a devoted Christian, and a U.S. citizen. She was a human being. She was a newcomer to the city of Minneapolis, but she had the kindness of heart and devotion to welfare of strangers to want to support her new neighbors.
But the only reason why she was assassinated is because she was gay. Wow. A grown woman, which I have no problems if you're a grown woman.
The Trump administration is taking
gay
a
or
whole
not.
government.
I don't care if you're gay or not. She shouldn't be shot in the head 3 times. And then we got this other problem on the other side of the aisle. You just arresting random people verbatim, putting people in chokeholds, putting innocent civilians in chokeholds.
Here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. President Trump threatened to send military troops into Minneapolis Thursday in response to ongoing protests against the immigration crackdown in Minnesota. An unprecedented 3,000 federal ICE agents are currently deployed in Minneapolis, St. Paul, in operation what they are calling Metro Surge. Posting on social media, Trump wrote, quote, "If the corrupt politicians in Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act," he said. Protests against the ICE crackdown in Minnesota are ongoing, have only intensified since last week's shooting of Renee Good, a U.S. citizen, poet, and mother of 3. Trump's comments came after a second person was shot by ICE. Julio Cesar Sosa Celes is a Venezuelan national shot in the leg following a traffic stop in the Twin Cities. This is White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt speaking to reporters yesterday.
The Insurrection Act is a tool at the president's disposal. As you know, it has been used sparingly, but it has been used by previous presidents in American history. And I think the president's Truth Social post spoke very loud and clear to Democrats across this country, elected officials who are using their platforms to encourage violence against federal law enforcement officers, who are encouraging left-wing agitators to unlawfully obstruct legitimate law enforcement operations.
For more, we're joined by Bahar Azmi, Legal Director for the Center for Constitutional Rights. Welcome to Democracy Now! In a moment, we're going to talk about what's happening with the Columbia University graduate Mahmoud Khalil, but we wanted to start by talking about the Insurrection Act. What does this mean that Trump could invoke it? What does it mean for Minnesota and the country?
Well, just to say the invocation of the Insurrection Act, which is an invocation of martial law, is like equal parts, lawless and terrifying. In this country, we are not in a constitutional republic. We're not supposed to have the military policing municipalities, because the military, if you think about it, is not subject to law. It's subject to executive will and power, and we're governed by municipalities are policed by police departments that are accountable to the mayor and to the public. So the Insurrection Act does permit the use of the military in extremely limited circumstances, where, for example, there's insurrection, which was used by Lincoln during the Civil War, Sherman trying to crush Klan terrorism in Reconstruction, and to integrate Southern schools. But the insurrection that's supposedly happening here is, as they say in horror movies, coming from inside the house. It's not from the people of Minneapolis. It's from the paramilitary ICE agents themselves who are fomenting this violence. And I'd note, Trump probably sees this as a civil war. He's inverting the reasons for using the Insurrection Act, which had been to tamp white supremacy in the past, and now it's being used to support it.
And could you talk about the most recent use of the Insurrection Act back in 1992 and during the Rodney King riots in LA, the difference between that situation and what we're seeing across the country now?
Well, first, there was, bona fide, demonstrable violence, and where the police department, which requested aid in LA, could not control themselves. There's no actual violence here, except that being perpetrated by the instigators, which is this paramilitary force of ICE. Local officials have not requested, in fact, rejected aid, and the motives are different. There, at least, there's a bona fide belief that the violence required additional police support via the military. Here, this, as we all know, is being leveraged as part of an autocratic power grab, and wait till there's maybe just a simple flare-up during a midterm election, and if the military gets deployed at that time as well.
And of course, this comes in the aftermath of the Supreme Court striking down President Trump's attempts to mobilize National Guard troops to Chicago and other cities. Could you talk about the connection there?
Yeah, surprisingly, for this Supreme Court, they instituted some limitations on the possibility of using at least the National Guard. This is a slightly different legal question. I'm a little bit worried, given this court's fascinated embrace of executive power, that they would give the Trump administration more leeway to use its, judgment and discretion to deploy military force. But we need to be obviously in the courts and in the streets protesting this kind of gratuitous use of military violence.
Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe.
So all this, all because Trump has his little temper tantrums. He needs to go. He needs to go. He's not only ruining America, he hasn't done pretty much nothing except scare people and just kill hundreds and hundreds of people, taking people from out of their homes, taking people away from their jobs. And the one ethnicity who had dared to vote for him because they feared that, or they expected, not feared, but expected to get something out of the deal, were Hispanics. Hispanics help aid in getting this son of a bitch in the office. Now they are regretting it day by day. Day by fucking day. But Jasmine gets no respect. That is mind-blowing. A black woman, I understand I understand some of you don't like black people, and that's fine. That's fine. That's great. But as you tell me, can we look past the color? Can we look past the color? Can we look past the fact that she's African American? Let's see what she can bring to the table. No, that's too much like right. That's just too much like right. And I bet you do know more than me, but I do know this. When they come knocking at your door, let's just let's just not hope for the worst. Because unlike you, I know my laws. And unlike you, I can give a person who is out of this country a fair shake. It's called the 14th Amendment. I can give a person a fair shake. I can give a person a chance to show what a hardworking citizen he can be, possibly, maybe, as long as he doesn't break any laws, but follow the proper protocols, which is having the right to due process, having a stake in making some real money, having health care. I can see that outright. But people like you don't. You see this American landscape as just being one melting pot, one white supremacist liberal lane, which obviously Donald Trump has exposed that already. Well, there are many people who would like put it out there, but he is strengthening it. He is strengthening it. I bet Richard Spencer is kicking himself in the ass right now. Say, I went from Republican to Democrat. Even you could switch, but I bet he is kicking his own ass right now. Nick Fuentes is kicking his own ass right now. No, I'm wrong. Nick Fuentes is patting himself on the back, saying good for Donald Trump. Now all we need is just a little push, saying kill them all, kill them all, kill them all. Let God sort them out. Kill all the Mexicans, kill all the Hispanics, kill all the Asians, get rid of all the blacks, put them in jail, put them back in slavery. And let us live let us return back to what it once was. Fine dine of luxury. the riches. We can enjoy our riches without crime and destruction. I literally am mind-boggled about this. In the famous words of I get too old for this shit. Well, all I know is one bomb goes off, and this is my saving grace. I hope they do it. I hope he does it. I hope Trump goes for it. Matter of fact, do it. Do it. Do it and see what you get. Do it. Go for Greenland. Go for Greenland. I want him to. I definitely want him to. You know why? Because the moment the moment he messes around with one of those people out there, and you forget they have no defense. They have no army out there. And the people who are voluntary are several countries. Who do we have? 2, so that makes 3. 3 out of 7. Are you going to fight all 7 countries? How foolish is that? So what happens if we lose? What happens if we lose? We're going to lose we're going to lose thousands of lives before this thing is over if one bomb goes off. If one hair is harmed. He already tried to offer some idiot tried to shoot me down saying that I was wrong and I didn't know what I was talking about. But I just showed them the article where he stated that he was going to give people $100,000 to come to America. Haven't we, newsflash, I don't think the Greenland people know Trump's alibi. He doesn't pay anybody. He is the biggest scammer schemer on the face of this planet. If he can't pay Americans what he owes, what he said he was going to do, what makes you think he's going to pay Greenlanders, or whatever you call them? If he's not going to pay the people in Greenland hundreds of thousands of dollars to come to America, or I said that backwards. If he can't pay people here the $2,000 stimulus package where he had so-called promised, and now all of a sudden he has this amnesia. I don't remember. Can you recall? Because I don't remember. What the fuck you think you gonna do with Green? And you still support him as president. Okay, gotcha. Good. Gotcha. I understand. Oh, snap. I knew that was coming. I definitely knew that was coming. But I'm not going to even cover
scrutiny as Jasmine Crockett's trip to Israel and her not co-sponsoring H.R. 5106, the Restore Faith in Congress Act. Both have warts. I do prefer James, however. There was more where that came from.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just sad. It's sad. But it's not over. It's just beginning. It is just beginning, ladies and gentlemen. And she is going to win. I'm not going to bet the house because I don't live in Texas. I'm in the state of Nevada. I don't live in Texas. I would tell you Texarkanas if you're in here. I would tell you Texarkanas. I'll bet the house. I would bet my ranch that Jasmine Crockett is going to get in that seat. If I was there, if I was there, actually. Your party stole what? Your party stole trillions of dollars. He has to pay that back first. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, put a whole bunch of fuck ISIS in the chat. put a whole bunch of fuck ISIS in the chat. Hey Barb. I know I wasn't looking at you, but hey Barb, how you doing? Yeah, you seen? I'm sure you're up on it, and you've seen the polls that Tellerico is up by 10, 11 points, which is fine. I mean, it's going to translate back. It's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm not worried about the polls. I'm just worried about her party. And this is why I look at mostly Hakeem Jeffries. Mr. Hakeem, what the fuck is your problem, bruh? I look at Bernie Sanders, old ass Bernie Sanders that need to retire. So they need to come to me with support. My God.
During an episode of Kids and
what's Hope talking about?
Las Costa Ristas podcast published on Wednesday, January 7th. On social media, many criticized Yang and Rogers for their comments. Erica from Black Girls Who Brunch said on TikTok, Rogers talked in a very uninformed way on a large pop culture podcast. She said she feels there's an underlying opinion from Rogers, which a Black woman cannot win statewide.
Real quick, understand. You said as long as whichever candidate wins. I told her, I said before, but you weren't here. I had no problems with James Tellerico. I had no problems at all. No problems. As a matter of fact, he wins. But the hate for Jasmine Crockett is real. I expect people from the right to hate on her, but the people on the left not support her? I thought that's what politics was all about. I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
Agreed with her, calling out the comedians. She received over 17,000 likes. And there was a lot more where that came from.
It's always a tweet with a gaping rosebud and a microphone that has so much to say. But since we are being funny, since the Boys with Podcast decided to turn a Black woman's Senate run into a punchline, let me return the favor. Because it's actually insane. I'm not talking about quirky insane, not internet cute insane, but structurally violent insane. That Matt Rogers and Bowling Gang thought that it was appropriate to sit on a microphone and tell Black people, or people in general, not to financially support a Black woman who is running for office. Not critique her platform, not challenge her record, not debate her policies, just don't give her money. That's not comedy, that's not analysis. That is material attempting to start a Black woman's campaign. And then y'all wrap it up in this tired, cowardly ass phrase saying that she's too well defined. Well, baby, she's not too well defined. What she is too unignorable, too competent, and too Black in public. She's too woman while being ambitious, too clear about power, and the clarity that scares people who benefit from living in a fog. Because somehow, defined only becomes a problem when the candidate is a Black woman or a Black person in general. White men can be as defined as hell, angry, loud, corrupt, incoherent, indicted, and still get called serious contenders. They can lose 5 elections and be called building a movement. They can be mediocre forever and still get donors and headlines and grace. But a Black woman has to be flawless and frictionless and humble and exceptional and non-threatening and brilliant and warm and soft and strategic and silent, and she's still not going to be viable. And when she isn't those things, you don't debate her, you don't challenge her, you don't engage her, you don't try to financially do anything other than disappear her. And that's what makes this particularly nasty, is that it's coming from men who trade aesthetics for marginalization. Men who benefit from being queer, from being outsiders, from being not the norm, and yet the second that a Black woman steps into an actual power shift, the instinct is still, let's manage her, let's shrink her, let's tell people not to invest in her. And that's not allyship. That's not progressive. That's not neutral. That is the same old hierarchical bullshit wrapped in a pride flag calling itself evolved. And forgive me, but I do not recognize comedians and sketch performers as the new gatekeepers of American democracy.
Oh, gosh. Right on, bro. Well, hey, I call it like I see it. God damn it. I call it like I see it. But he's right. He is absolutely right. Hey, I'm old school. I call you, hey, you're born a man, you're born a man. You're born a woman, you're born a woman. I'm sorry. I ain't throwing away my old stripes for nobody. But he is right. I'm giving brownie points where I give brownie points to. And got these two idiots who proclaim was let me not call them idiots because I don't even know who these people are. However, this is the exact same thing you get from other people who do support the left, but have a bit of a more of an agenda in mind. Say, come to our neighborhood. You ain't done enough for our neighborhood. You haven't even sniffed our neighborhoods, and they call it out in this whatever case may be. Talking about grassroots black people who have this same complaint. But are we not paying attention to the youth? Are we not paying attention to what's going on in this country, that we're letting ICE run amok? Are we not paying attention to what's going on in our healthcare, what's going on, and just going on economically, what's going on? And it's due to some old ass 80-year-old man who, again, has temper tantrum problems, and he is declaring war on the United States. You heard it here first. He is declaring war on the United States. But no one is born a man or oh Lord Jesus. I'm not getting into this conversation with you. I just said homeboy was right. That's all I said. He's right. I gave him credit. I gave him full credit. What? Hold on. This tar lines, this is wrong. Leftists are one of who most vocally hate Crockett for good reason. Blue mega liver. So we got blue mega liberals now? I didn't know that. I'm new to that. So we got blue mega liberals from the left. Blue mega liberals are the ones melting down BC. That's her base. The centrist Democrat Crohn's, whatever that fucking word is. 1630 funds created support Jasmine Crockett. Leftists hate her because she is pro-crypto, pro-Israel corporated still. Whatever the hell that means. So we're still on this Israel kick. And what the fuck is wrong with crypto? Can somebody tell me what is wrong with crypto? Wasn't everybody on this crypto kick? There are some people who made a lot of money off of crypto. Not saying that I supported it, and I'm still waiting on my little coin. I have a wallet and everything. This is crazy.
You want to know how I know this Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico situation is more about Jasmine Crockett being a black woman, and that's why they don't want her as a candidate, than James Tallarico actually being a good candidate? Please point me to any online leftist or anyone that's saying they want James Tallarico over Jasmine Crockett. Show me a video of them before Jasmine Crockett decided to run for senator, of them giving this guy praise, saying he's a great candidate, saying he's someone of the future, or saying someone worthy of running. Because I never saw anyone talk about James Tallarico before Jasmine Crockett decided to run. To me, they saw Jasmine Crockett, someone with momentum, someone that is talked about a lot, someone that has a lot of praise, someone that they know black people like, and they're like, oh God, this is someone we don't want to win, so let's prop up James Tallarico. Even if we don't actually like him, let's just say he's a great candidate to piss off these black people. Because like I said before, where were these videos that James Tallarico was such a great candidate? Please show me. Because last time I checked, you guys said all Democrats are shills. But now it's, oh God, James Tallarico, he's a great candidate. So please show me the videos.
Now, keep in mind, if the shoe was on the other foot, like it was in November 2024, we'd be talking about experience. Well, we don't know if they had the experience. We need somebody that can stand up to the world leaders and fold due to basic base level flattery. Never mind that the Trump 45 experience was overwhelmingly negative, experience. Now, when she's been in the seat and done the thing, she's defined.
In other words, she's black. This is all for what it is. Defining only meaning she's a black woman, young and inexperienced. She's 44 years of age.
About 4 days later, Rogers posted an apology on his Instagram story after the criticism. Hey, everybody, I hear the response and I'm taking every bit of it to heart. I promise. Transparency and candor matter to me, especially on the podcast. I'm a very progressive person who cares deeply about winning these elections, but my phrasing was not right. I'll be more thoughtful. I really do promise. I have great respect and admiration for Rep. Crockett, and I regret that my words suggested otherwise. I just want us to win, and I'll be better at finding ways to win. Yang reposted Rogers' statement on his Instagram story and wrote, should not have cursorily weighed in on this, understanding the platform, and will use it more responsibly. Well, I will say this. You just want to win. The pushback that we've seen to Jasmine Crockett, which you have participated in, is something to be considered. It's something that we all should have to consider. As my own response when Jasmine Crockett declared for this race was pause based on the lessons from 2024. And apparently, despite having felt the pain from 2024, we're not there yet. No, we're not doing this. It's automatically racist and sexist to ever say a black female politician isn't 100% a magical, perfect being thing again. It's 100% legitimate to urge people to not donate to a politician because you think they're not a good candidate. This is wrong. Leftists are the one that most vocally hate Crockett for good reason. Blue MAGA liberals are the ones melting down because that's her base. The centrist Dem chorus, 1630 fund creators support Crockett. Leftist hate her because she's pro-crypto, pro-Israel, corporate shill. Now, imagine fixing your fingers to say that leftists most vocally hate Crockett. Imagine fixing your fingers to type something. She couldn't have been paying attention. No one gives a F that she's black, and we don't like her because she's a pro-Israel genocide apologist shill for the crypto industry, among other things. The fact that her centrist Dem stands are trying to weaponize black identity to dismiss legit criticism is why you all keep losing. Who's you all? Who's you all? Did you just sign up for a red hat? It sounded like she just signed up for a red hat. Toss her a red. She actually would fit in over there. Complete absence of facts and information. Tell Rico.
Blue Mega is the alt left, specifically for people like her.
Taking that Miriam Adelson money during his last campaign in the Texas House deserves as much scrutiny as Jasmine Crockett's trip to Israel and her not co-sponsoring HR 5106, the Restore Faith in Congress Act. Both have warts. I do prefer James, however. There was more where that came from.
Online leftists, clock in. For months, you've been running around saying Jasmine Crockett is AIPAC funded. You post it and comment like it's proven. You repeat it like it's settled fact, except it isn't. There is no evidence that Jasmine Crockett has ever been endorsed by AIPAC or received direct campaign funding from AIPAC. No filings, no donation trails, no receipts. What does exist is this. She took an educational trip to Israel, funded by AIEF, a nonprofit that's affiliated with AIPAC. That is not the same thing as taking AIPAC money. That is not an endorsement. That is not being bought. But you flattened all of that into a viral lie because it fit your narrative and it made you feel good to post. Meanwhile, James Talrico is out here in writing, telling Jewish Texans he will vote to arm Israel with defensive weapons. That's on paper. That's an actual policy promise. The very thing your stupid performative litmus test cries about. And while you're busy being anti-black online, look at what's happening here at home. ICE is running wild. Raids, militarized enforcement, people dragged out of homes, communities living in fear, federal agents acting with impunity, and innocent women being murdered. This is the country you live in right now. This is the reality you helped build. Because we've seen this movie before. In 2016, online leftists decided moral purity mattered more than power. They suppressed votes, they postured, they both sized their way through an election. And what did that give us? A gutted Supreme Court, rights stripped, immigrants terrorized, ICE emboldened, a government that treats human beings like disposable paperwork.
You didn't hear that again? You didn't hear that?
Nope, I don't need to hear that again.
You never signed up for
Because
a video, have you?
I don't need to hear them. I don't need to hear anymore because specifically, they're gonna vote for whoever you want to vote for. I'm just waiting for the 24th to arrive. I'm waiting for March to arrive, and I'm waiting for November to see how you people really feel about Jasmine Crockett. It's very, very sad and telling, but it's not over till not the fat lady. Not the fat lady. Not the fat lady singing. It's not over until the black woman sings.